Good morning, guys. Welcome back. This is going to be the biggest swim bait I've ever thrown before, and we're going to be throwing it in the smallest lake in the area that I fish at. Very small lake. It's super tiny. But I think there's some big bass hiding in this lake. I've always kind of thought it, and today we're going to find out, because this is a 9-inch glide swim bait from Sense, and I think it's going to catch a really big bass. If there's a giant bass hiding in this lake, I think this is going to be the way to do it. I specifically got this lure for the upcoming tournament at Dvorak, because this, to me, looks fairly close enough to a kokanee. I thought we'd come out and test it out. This is my last day before the big trip, you guys, so here we go. We're going to go ahead and just throw this puppy around and see if let's see if there's a giant hiding in this little lake. This little lake is hidden. This is a Sunday, and there's like 2 people on the lake fishing. It's Father's Day. Sunday, Father's Day, and there's 3 of us out here on the lake. 2 people fishing from shore. Not a very popular lake. This is one of those lakes when I mention it about bass fishing, people often say things like, "Ugh, that lake sucks." But I don't think that a 9-inch glide bait has ever been thrown in this lake before. So we are about to be the first. We're gonna add some crawfish stick to this puppy here, just because I kind of hit it up with some sunscreen fingers. Dang, that smells like crawfish. All right, this is such a giant bait. That's a little fast. Tighten is. All right, this is a 9-inch, like 3-something ounce swim bait. This is the biggest one I've ever thrown. Let's do it. Looks like it's got a pretty nice little, got some good action to it. Looks like it's a floating. It said it was a slow sink, but it looks like it floats, which is a little annoying. It does seem like it sinks on the retrieve a little bit. Yeah, on the retrieve, it looks like I can get it down a little bit. Oh my God, that's a huge bass. Oh, that was a huge bass. Oh my God. I wonder if you guys saw that. I think the follower that followed was definitely big enough to eat it, or at least go for it. If I was to guess, I'd say the follower was like a 5-pounder. It was really big. He looked kind of fat, so I don't know if he was quite. It's always tough to tell. I'm not super used to seeing the fish in the water. Usually the water clarity in most of the lakes I fish at is a little too much. So I don't know how much that distorts. Really liking the lure so far, though. I kind of like that it floats, and then somehow, for some reason, as you retrieve, it dives. It doesn't have any fins on it whatsoever. Like, there's nothing on here that should be making it dive. I guess it's just how it works, I guess. It's really cool. Trying to keep just on the edge of this weed line right here. It's a little bit of a drop off, so we gotta stay out just a little bit deeper. I think that's where we gotta be. I'm really digging the wind. This seems like a pretty ideal setup for us so far this morning. All right, we've tried some more erratic retrieves. We'll see if we can try to slow it down just a little bit. See if more of a slow retrieve is what they want. Should probably retie here in a second. Not seeing any more followers. So it does kind of suck that it's not a slow sinking lure. It did say subsurface when I looked at one of the things, and one of the things said it was a slow sink, so I wasn't entirely sure what it was that I ordered. But it appears to be, it is a floating lure that does dive pretty well when you retrieve it. Looks like you can probably get 5 to 8 feet, I'm guessing. If you were to cast further, you might be able to get a little bit more depth out of it, but I like that, honestly, because well, I've chucked these, I've broken off a few during a cast before, so the idea of the lure floating back to the top, if that were to ever happen, sounds nice to me. I'm okay with it. But we're going to start covering some water on the lake here. Let's see if we can just kind of explore some new areas. I think the bass that came up and sniffed earlier, I think we missed our opportunity there. He doesn't seem as interested in checking it out again. Bit of a drop off right here. Gotta fish the drop offs. But it is a bit deeper, so we gotta try to get down a little deeper. All right, this isn't cheating. I have to throw this a couple times because I just put straight braid on this for the tournament. Very excited about it. I'm just gonna see how it feels. Feels good. Yeah, I put the straight braid on here because we're gonna be fishing in some super, super deep water. And in order to do that, you really, if you're gonna fish on the bottom, you need some really good sensitivity. So we got all braid on here now. I got some 12-pound FC Sniper fluorocarbon on the end. Should be able to get some really solid hook sets. Oh man, braid feels so good. It's been a long time. Oh, dang. Got thumped. Felt like too hard of a thump to be anything but a trout. All right, sweet. That seems really good. Love the braid. All right, how long we been fishing for? We've been out here fishing for probably about an hour. Got quite a few casts in. Gonna see about starting to cover some water. Looks like people are moving around a little bit here, so. Gotta keep an eye on my eagle friend above me there. He'll happily try to go after this lure if I'm not careful. Bunch of little fish following it. It's interesting that the little ones follow it. What are they doing? Bunch of little panfish of some sort. There's kind of a debate in my head. Do you try to fish next to the lily pads because they're providing shade? Definitely a possibility. Or do you try to fish out a little bit deeper, try to find the outer edge grass line? I think that's typically what you're supposed to be doing this time of year anyways. But these lily pads are pretty grown in. So I could see, either one could work. Just gotta try both. We'll see which one works. Let's try some lily pad throws for a bit. I think we just tried the outside grass line for quite a few throws. It's definitely a little on the shallow side over here, but I think as long as you're utilizing the lily pads, it should be fine. Kind of like try to maximize its turn. It likes to do a big left, big right. I think by doing that, you kind of cover the most amount of water. Oh, that's not it. It's like as long as you have the rod tip aimed down, this lure seems like it just it'll drop down to 8 feet. Maybe more. So I don't really understand how it works. It's pretty cool. I am impressed so far. Alright, just hit the 3-hour mark of recording. not looking good. We're definitely in like the midday slump of fishing. This seems to happen a lot, especially on a sunny, no cloud day. At least we have a little bit of wind on our side. That is the one advantage that we got going for us today. But yeah, once the sun's up like this, it's probably safe to assume these bass they're deep in the grass. Whether that's hiding way up in these lily pads or out deeper somewhere. The ones out deeper, probably not going to get them to come up for this freaking giant glide bait. I might be able to get a reaction strike out of one hiding next to the lily pads. That's my guess. That is my guess. If I can stroll past one just hiding in here, I bet we can get them. I was 80% positive we were going to get bit on this lure today. I thought it was going to happen. I thought for sure. The fact that we got a follower is freaking awesome. That was a big follower. That's, I think, definitely the biggest bass probably that I've seen in this lake. Bigger than any bass I've ever caught before. I think a 3.7 pound was the biggest I had previously caught out of here, so I'm pretty sure that thing was a solid, it looked like a 5. I hope we're able to see it in the video. I'm not sure a GoPro will do it justice, but, or even if you can see past the reflection, since I still don't have a polarized lens. I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it. All right, well, we're at like the 4.5 hour mark. We are coming into the last spot. I kind of turned around when I came up here to fish earlier, but I have fished the entire lake at this point. I've gone around, casted everywhere, and besides the one big follower, there hasn't really been much. So we're gonna try. We're gonna start here, work our way around, and we'll see if this is where all these giant fish in this lake are hiding. From my best guess, I think the number one fish that was going to be able to handle this lure, I think I just missed him. I didn't present it right this morning. I think I had the chance, but just didn't get it. I think we're a little bit too midday to be fishing with a giant swim bait. The wind's kind of died. It's pretty sunny. It's not super hot, so that's good. It's only in the 60s today. Water temperature is 71. Maybe a little bit warmer up here. This whole lily pad corner I've come up into. I have a really good feeling about it for the tournament. I think the number one thing I really like about it is how far back that last treble hook is. Like, look at that. That's right there on the end. That gives the opportunity for a really small fish to get hooked. So it could be a good numbers thing too. You can kind of steer it too. Like right as it veers, you can like, oh, got a little follower. Is he gonna get it? Look, if those little fish that are like this big, they are attacking it. We'll keep sneaking back here. Got the fish finder off, so we're in like mega stealth mode right now. I've heard some anglers kind of give the idea that the ticking of the fish finder can be basically a warning signal to some of the older and wiser fish. And, you know, I wouldn't put it past them, because I have seen some of those big fish, they behave funny. They'll come up and sniff a lure and be like, that's a lure. This lure has a lot of rattle to it too, which I do like. You can make it rattle less by retrieving it slower and steadier. But yeah, if you want to make it have a presence known, you can really so hoping we get a fish on this. It would really make me happy. What I really want is to catch a fish with it during the tournament. I'm down to catch one during the practice period as well, just to boost my confidence in throwing it in the morning. I kind of usually think there's nothing back here that you can kind of get at unless you're, I don't know, either throwing a frog or throwing something deep into these lily pads. I think the fish that are back here are just kind of well hidden. I'm gonna punch through this. Hopefully I don't get too clogged up. Another fun thing about fishing these giant swim baits is they're different than, you know, like I've fished this whole lake before, and typically I feel like you don't really catch anything back here. But I've never fished back here with a giant 9-inch swim bait before. My instinct tells me that it shouldn't work, but I'm optimistic. Maybe the reason I've never caught a fish over here is because the only fish that's back here is a freaking toad, a horse. We're going paddling. Pretty grassy. Can't really fish in that. I'm gonna give it a shot though. Oh boy, just blew up my reel. Apparently this is how you're supposed to catch a big fish. Blow up your reel, and that is how you get them to bite. Oh, blew it up pretty good. This is a difficult spot to be able to fix this to. All right, I think it's too grassy back here. I just don't have any sort of water to work with. I tried though. I definitely tried. All right, guys, it's time for me to roll. It is Father's Day. Gotta go see my pa. We didn't get anything on the swim bait, but that's okay because we're gonna go and throw that swim bait a bunch during the tournament. I know I probably shouldn't, but I feel like I'm going against people that are like way better. They've been fishing for years longer than I have. Like some of these guys have been doing their whole lives. Some of them have way more advanced electronics, like live scopes or all sorts of crazy electronic stuff. Some have motors, some have way better rods and reels and combos and lures and just everything. I feel like I gotta put a little luck on my side and throw this giant swim bait. Plus, I really want to. It just sounds fun. The idea of catching a giant freaking bass with the swim bait in a tournament that's kind of my dream right now. So hopefully that's gonna happen, you guys. The next video you guys are gonna see is gonna be a compilation of both of the practice days. And, you know, maybe I'll make a practice day for each. We'll see how they go. If they're kind of boring, I'll smash them together. If they're interesting, I will do them separately. But I think they're going to be 2 separate spots on the Dvorak Reservoir. And hopefully we take home a big win this time, you guys. I'm really crossing my fingers. I think there's a chance. Well, that's going to do it, you guys. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you at the tournament.